Hello, everyone. Today is Sunday, September 17th, 2023 at 1:14 p.m. in the afternoon. Well, last night was another night of not good enough sleep, and then also another night of hold up, another night of having a bad dream or a nightmare about being homeless, back on the streets again. So not last night, but the night before last or early yesterday morning, I had a nightmare about being homeless on the streets, or I had a nightmare that or a bad dream that I rented a trailer to live in. I was paying, living in a trailer instead of a cabin. And then, I got, evicted or kicked out, within the first, hour or so of living there. And then in the dream, I was homeless back on the streets and begging my twin sister to let me come stay with her in the dream. And as I said, I know that that's dream manipulation, part of the gang stalking in the top, So then this morning, I had a bad dream. Excuse me, that I was begging the biological sister Ramona to let me come stay with her. I'm like, I don't even want to for the rest of my life, if I survive what I went through, I don't even want to I don't have any desire to try to live what, no matter how, because I've had bad moments. And look how I had to survive, So I don't even desire to live with any family. And if life is coming to an end, I turned 40 years old. And people saying that life is short, or that the world is coming to an end and Jesus is coming back soon. Everything seems so hopeless with everything seems so hopeless, about, and then me being targeted and everybody being against me and everything. Everything seems so hopeless about everything seems so hopeless with the idea of a man actually marrying me. And I don't know how close I am to actual menopause. So, but the only family, I would like to have or living with me is if I had a decent Christian husband. He doesn't have to be a targeted individual like me, but as long as he understands and has compassion for my suffering as a TI, and if he's Christian like me, then, I wouldn't mind marrying him and having kids with him if he's not a narcissistic abuser or a perp. And nowadays, I don't want to marry a man that's younger than me, but I don't want him to be too old either, So, but it's I'm surprised that Sean, he married a woman he didn't want to marry because the other biological brother Pete set him up with that woman in order to try to make a fool out of Sean, and then, to make a fool out of Sean, and then, try to get his laughs from Sean, and then manipulate and have other family members just laughing at Sean. So Pete set Sean up with, Sean was about 36 years old. And then Pete set Sean up with a 50-something-year-old white woman, just to try to make a fool out of Sean, and I don't have any idea how long the marriage lasted, but I heard it didn't last long, and Sean ended up bouncing around from place to place like me, suffering off and on homelessness and being wrongfully banned from everywhere. But in recent years, Sean had been acting like an abusive, narcissistic perp, which is not like him. And they've been having Sean to be more accepted by the family lately, which is not usual. But it seems like no matter what I do or say, I'm going to be the number one hated out of the family. Family members who hate me so much that I'm forbidden to know their contact information. Any of their they want absolutely nothing to do with me. Family members, if I haven't even done you anything, or I don't even know you that well because of foster care. So people think that they can just hate you based on gossip and lies and false rumors that they heard about you. But the most dysfunctional family members are the main ones who point out that the family is so dysfunctional. One time in 2003, they had a lady from Finland that was a mental health therapist. And why am I paying for this therapy, or why is my insurance paying for this therapy for you to force me to be quiet and stay quiet? And I think I was talking about foster family abuse because I haven't had that much experience with the biological family. So the fake therapist from Finland said, nobody wants to hear about your dysfunctional family. And nobody else in the mental health group therapy wanted to talk. Nobody wanted to talk. But I was the only one eager to get my story out. And so, of course that would make you want to quit therapy if somebody says something like that. And then I even quit taking the meds and try to break away then. And then, I'm talking about the Jefferson Parish, what's it called? Jefferson Parish Human Services Authority in Marrero. That location. And this was back in 2003. And so I mainly, I guess, was talking about the foster mom's abuse. I was trying to say something in that group. I don't remember. Excuse me, but I you know what? I think I was trying to talk about the beatings from the foster brother Joe and all that abuse. And the lady told me nobody wants to hear about your dysfunctional family. So I quit going to the therapy, quit trying to take the medicine, and they would bully, harass, and threaten. The mental health nurses, they would try to bully, harass, and make threats to get me locked up in a mental institution because I didn't want to comply anymore, you know. But one time, something happened where, like, they would have frustrating moments with the psych meds. And I think this might have been part of the gang stalking too. They force you to see a psychiatrist and take medicine against your will and try to label you crazy. So you mean to come to find out I've never been crazy in the first place? This was all a mind control experiment? So they would do stuff like if I go see a psychiatrist and then they refill my prescriptions or whatever, or they give me a new prescription, and then I go to whatever pharmacy, and then I get frustrated having to hear Medicare and Medicaid go like 4 or 5 hours arguing and fighting back and forth on who's going to pay for my medication or who's going to pay for this or that. And then they try to leave me to pay for everything or pay a copay or whatever when I thought my meds were supposed to be free. Free to me, that I don't have to pay. So that will happen every month. You know, and I don't even know if that was part of the gang stalking or part of the mind control games. And they would have moments where they try to frighten and scare me, and the pharmacist would tell me it looks like that I'm gonna have to pay like $155 for such and such medication or $849 for this medication. I'm like, I don't even have money for that, you know. So I'm thankful and glad to not have to go through that anymore. So, I mean, so yeah. But I did say that once I turn 18, I would like to just be my own family. I would like to, and I have no choice but to be my own family now. And they would even want me to hate myself or try to manipulate things to look like Candy's just a very bad person. So nowadays, you would not no matter. I mean, especially what I have been through. They have had people when I would been homeless. They try to tell me that I should try to get back in the family members' good graces and ask could I stay with them. I'm like, they're so stubborn and have their minds made up that, you know, that I can't even get through to them. They won't they don't even want to see my face. They don't even want to see my face. You know. And then, as I said, if I ended up living with any biological family member or any foster family member or any Masonic smelly crab family member or anybody part of the fake IDMR cult, if I were to live underneath them or live with them, I would have to be subjected to abuse and all kinds of psychological games. And each time I lived with somebody else, I always had to be subjected to abuse or severe mind games that messed me up mentally. So I'm at better peace by myself. But, you know, as of last year, Wyatt, the other biological brother, Wyatt, talked to me on the phone, and it was 2022, and he said that Ramona still has bed bugs. I'm like, how badly did they multiply if she still got them? And then he said he was freaking out. He said he was freaking out because he thinks that he may have that the bed bugs have accidentally traveled with him to Milwaukee. Well, he ignored me trying to send him messages of advice on how to get rid of the doggone bed bugs. Well, I think it seemed like he ignored every single text message that I sent him. But Wyatt turned out to be a perp. I had to ditch him. So, and when you're homeless on the street struggling, and people like Wyatt and Ramona hounding you down for money. Now, Ramona wouldn't let me come stay with her, but she always want to take my money and go gamble it up. Excuse me. I mean, Ramona had all these other people, family or not. She had anybody else illegally living with her for a long periods of time, whether it be boyfriends or her son's friends or whoever else. But like they said, if you are on Section 8 or whatever other low-income housing, that that you have to have the landlord's approval, and the most that they can stay with you is 14 days. But Ramona would lie and say that, like, when we would in 2002 or 2003, even 2001, if we try to beg the biological mom Frances or the biological sister Ramona to let us stay with them, and they would lie and say that there was not enough room. But especially Ramona would have like certain people who's not on a lease living with her for years, and then using them to pay all her bills where she ain't got to pay nothing. And that amigo guy, he was Puerto Rican. He was one of her boyfriends. And amigo, me and him, I didn't realize amigo was a perp too. And amigo, I used to call him enemiga. And he was a little bitty man. And was it the year that Blake died or the year after or somewhere around there that I heard that he died of alcohol poisoning, and he died in his sleep. And he died in his sleep of alcohol poisoning from drinking too much. And he had, I think they say he had cirrhosis of the liver or something. But he was like a bad alcoholic. And so they would get into arguments, and he would yell at Ramona and say, "I run that motherfucker. I pay all the goddamn bills." He said, "I run this motherfucker. I pay all the goddamn bills." Let me translate that for y'all. "I run this motherfucker. I pay all the goddamn bills." Those are his words. So then Ramona would lie to him and say, "You don't pay shit," or whatever, And they would go back and forth arguing constantly, And then, one time me and Ramona got into an argument. I said, "Well, why are you so quick to..." All the times that Amigo has called you all kinds of bitches and hoes or whatever, and you don't throw him out. She's like, that's because he pay all the that's because he pay all the bills. Yeah, he pay all the bills while you don't pay shit. Now that's the freeloader right there. But I got so many grimy ass family members though, that, all of them are toxic and I need to stay away from them. But they lie on me and say that I'm the toxic narcissist. So, but Ramona would bully and manipulate me out of hundreds of dollars, to go gamble with. And she would tell a lie in order to get the money. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you said you needed help paying your light bill or paying this bill. And she would have no shame. And I thought that she was just taking advantage of me and my twin sister Brandy and taking advantage of the biological brother Sean. But I never heard about her taking advantage of Wyatt, Mark, or anybody else. But my biological aunt, Carolyn, off of Arthur's side, I don't remember whether or not she'd been in the military, but she said that Ramona had took advantage of her before, and that lady's supposed to be considered mentally normal. And I heard that Ramona does dirty stuff at people's, like she'll go to people's funerals, repasts, and weddings and baby showers or birthday parties uninvited and go just ravish all the doggone food. But then during an argument, I heard that she'll, take all the, go to the party uninvited and then go take all the food for herself. Or she would do stuff like go, break her neck to run to a stranger's funeral and then go back and talk back and laugh and gossip about how bad she thinks that they look in the casket and stuff like that. But she still is falsely glorified as one of the most honorable and respected and feared family members, though. They know how dirty Ramona is. But because of the color of her skin, of lack of melanin, is why she gets this undeserved praise. But I'm done with family heartache and setups and whatever else. I don't care to contact any family member ever again for as long as I live. And back in 2007, they used to hate me enough to make me feel like as if they think that, I used to question whether or not that they hated me so much that nobody would come. It was back in 2007, as if they hate me so much that I wouldn't even that they wouldn't even hold a funeral for me, or make me feel like as if they hate me so much that I didn't deserve a funeral if I died. Or nobody would come to my funeral or whatever if I died. But somebody narcissistically lectured me, religious narcissists. If they narcissistically lecture you about being childish or petty or worried about how many people come to your funeral, and then a lot of people will agree with them and talk about, salvation or whatever. But, I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize this was all everybody hating you. It was all a spiritual war and part of the gang stalking, So would you rather to have nobody really to come to your funeral and you go to heaven, or if you rather have millions come to your funeral and you still go to hell? Religious narcs, they be trying to manipulate use the Bible or whatever, trying to manipulate like that, or try to use the Bible for fear tactics of hell and stuff like that. But if you ask anybody, it's always you that's negative, and they're the ones who talk about how you should be positive. But then they use the Bible, they weaponize the Bible against you to kick you down even harder. You know, or they stay their fake asses away from you. You know, and so many narcissists, they act like they're the king and queen of quotes, where they will talk about, oh, don't help certain people that's already down because you might be getting in the way of their karma. But yeah, they use that new age talk about karma. Oh, you know, but then they falsely glorify themselves as truthers, and then they use that to exploit and take advantage of the most, like the abusive, narcissistic, popular fake truthers. You know, excuse me. So I have no idea why. I have no idea why I woke up with a sore throat this morning. I don't know why I woke up with a sore throat this morning, but hopefully it will get healed quickly or soon. But it's been at least 5 days since the pain at the roof of my mouth, it started to try to borderline become infected, but then now it's starting to seem like it's starting to heal. I don't feel that bump anymore. It was like a small bump at the roof of my mouth, but it seemed like it's starting to try to heal. But this morning, I don't know why I woke up with a very sore throat. So, and it seemed like the pain is in my throat is increasing for some reason. But I took, it's like my throat is so sore, I kind of almost can barely talk. But I have a lot I need to say. So, what did I do yesterday? After the video yesterday, I kind of don't remember everything I did. I think I did a little bit like cleaning up and organizing. I feel dreadful of the inspection. Like, I just moved in here. And I haven't had a break from the summer, the torment and trauma that I went through over the summer. And I still don't feel like I have a break, like any rest from all those years of suffering homelessness. And whatever inspection, like, I'm feeling nervous because I don't know how nitpicky I don't know how nitpicky they would be, or if they would be nitpicky, or, I don't know. I'm feeling nervous because I don't know what to expect. And I really don't like people coming in my house. So I've been feeling anxiety. Excuse me, and can't wait till it's over. So, but I guess I was supposed to have been really busy yesterday. But I looked at one of the teal storage bin with the black bag on it right there. I took a quick peek up in there, and I just saw all those pieces of paper, and I felt overwhelmed that I have to sort through that. But I don't think it was the day I was here. I think it was like 3 days I mean, I don't think it was the day I got my stuff out the storage unit. It was the day after, and then the next 2 days after that, I spent time sorting through and trying to organize everything that was in all those bags. And so I have not done, I needed to take a break. And I have not worked on my storage bins, trying to, I have 11 of them total. So I got, these are 9 of them. So I have 2 more in another closet. And I got these, they are empty, these 2 suitcases, but, you know, so, so, well, my anxiety is high and my mind kind of went blank, but yeah, due to the sleep deprivation and plus lots of anxiety, and then making me feel like too depressed to even work on, like I feel overwhelmed, but I guess the day after and the next 2 days, I guess I was so excited about having access to my stuff that I was like a workaholic that didn't want to stop working on, organizing and sorting and picking things out and stuff like that. So I did very light organization yesterday. It wasn't that much. And then for dinner, I was so I showed y'all what I had for lunch yesterday, and I told y'all what I had for breakfast. But for dinner, all I had was some chicken wings. Well, they were called chicken wing sections, not a full chicken wing, but chicken wing sections, like the drumette in the actual wing, and then the other thing that people usually throw away that doesn't have that much meat on it. Like, I guess you might call it the tail or whatever. So they were sectioned up. So instead of 7, I was so hungry, I had 10 of them. My scissors are somewhere up in here, but I once I organize and straighten stuff up, then I can have access to my scissors. So, excuse me. So I try to open my meat thermometer, and the package would not open. So I need to find my scissors to open the package. So the instructions said that the instructions on the bag said that to put the frozen wings in the oven on 375 for 45 minutes to 1 hour. But I put them in the oven on 400 degrees for I put it on 400 degrees for I put it on 400 degrees for like an hour and 15 minutes. And they weren't even dried out or nothing. But I started to feel scared, questioning whether or not they were undercooked. And was afraid I was going to get food poisoning. But I personally throughout the years of cooking, I have never caught on my own from cooking or what they want to say cross contamination or something like that. I have never caught food poisoning from I have never caught food poisoning from my own cooking or anything like that. But I guess maybe because of me being having to rehabilitate from being homeless on the streets and having no cooking for a long time. Now I'm starting to feel like overly cautious or extra scared or extra worried, and you know, but the meat tasted kind of juicy and it tastes thoroughly cooked. But the outside on the skin parts, it looked a little bit pink, you know. But it's like I wish I had, I wish I could have opened my meat thermometer, but I got all spooked and scared, and I started to wonder if I was just mentally nauseated. And I started to wonder if I was just mentally nauseated or if it was the real deal while I was eating the wings. But I was so hungry, and all I ate was the wings and then the last of that Bluebell ice cream, the last little portion of that ice cream. And then I started freaking out because I wondered, well, did I eat too much saturated fat throughout the day? Because I had coconut, I had two liquid, it looked like it must have been teaspoons full instead of tablespoons, but I had 2 liquid spoonfuls of the coconut oil I put on the rice for my lunch yesterday. And I also had like 2 pieces of the cake, but the cake didn't have that much fat content or whatever, But I had the Hidden Valley. I mean, I usually don't even use Hidden Valley brand of stuff, but I looked at the sauce and thought that it might have tasted like McDonald's mac sauce. So that's why I tried it. But then I was disappointed that it didn't taste anything like McDonald's mac sauce, and it wasn't really sweet at all, but it was good. And of course, it tasted more like a ranch flavor, this Hidden Valley Ranch secret sauce. And so, well, because of the mainstream brand, well, I bought it. I also bought it because, I had just got here and was new and didn't have that much of money. And, but I hope that, once I get really settled, then I can be eating even more healthy and more nutritious, and I need to break away from my junk food addiction, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. So, I don't eat mainstream fast food that much anymore, seldom, but even local restaurants can sell food. I mean, because they use mainstream products. Like if you go to even a local diner or cafe, they will use the same Heinz ketchup, excuse me, or Krusty's pancakes like anybody else. They don't use they wouldn't use Swan's Down cake for their desserts or anything, or straight up. I mean Swan's Down cake flour or Baker's Joy or nothing. But I'm not saying that those are natural, but I never use Swan's Down cake mix or Baker's Joy spray. But I've seen a lot of people use those. Excuse me. But it's not like they use plain flour and make everything from scratch. These restaurants, they be using the same Coke products, or they would use Morton's salt. But if it's like the upscale, fancy, rich folks restaurants, then you might see some Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt at the table rather than Morton's regular iodized white salt, you know. But I mean, if a restaurant might use Uncle Ben's rice or something like that, you know, but we used to like Uncle Ben's rice, but we didn't even realize, Uncle Ben's rice is GMO or bad rice or something, Excuse me. So, like, I didn't even realize that when I ordered the DoorDash food, the groceries, I'm like, wow, if I would have known that they had these ingredients, then I shouldn't have bought that, or I wouldn't have bought that. But, it was a Saturday evening, and I had already done this and that earlier, or whatever, or that was the earliest convenience that I can order some groceries or whatever. So that's why I did the DoorDash. But otherwise, if it was, I mean, I needed groceries really bad. Excuse me. So now, the day I got here, I had, like, that morning, I had, like, because the Waffle House is right across the street from, not directly, but it's across the street from, in a little bit further down from the Greyhound station. But I was not going to touch McDonald's. But I don't even know if Waffle House should be a restaurant that I should just avoid. But from now on, I think I should avoid Dairy Queen. But I don't have Dairy Queen near me anyway. Right now. Excuse me. So other than that, other than that, the that time that morning, I ate out. And then last Monday, I was out all day running errands. So I was out all day running errands, but I ate out for breakfast and lunch. But I had dinner here. I mean, I had some dinner here. I cooked dinner here, or probably warmed up dinner here, But I guess I've been doing pretty good with not eating out because I've been cooking and eating here. I've been cooking and eating here. So it's nice when somebody, they donate and encourage you to splurge and go ahead and do whatever you want. But, as I said, the online gang stalkers, they twisted and manipulated and lied on me and said that I said that the donation wasn't enough. I never said that. But, me saying that even though I was encouraged to go and splurge, but I got the things that I needed, that I so badly needed, So by the time I got done, spending on things that I needed, then I said that, well, I had to put a few items back at fake Walmart because I wanted to make sure I had enough on the card to make sure I had enough left over on my card so I can have an Uber ride. And they used that to lie and manipulate and twist and said that I said that I was an ungrateful piece of shit, and that, that I said that the donation wasn't enough. So, but what do you expect from people that's going to throw up satanic hand signs, though? People who worship the devil. Jesus himself told you what the devil is, been a liar from the beginning. There's no truth in him. So, I mean, excuse me. So, like, I think it was yesterday. I got yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday. I got the notification for my first electricity bill, and it says $17.30-something. That's supposed to be due like at the beginning of October, and I'm like, wow, that ain't much. I mean, I was afraid. I was afraid that it was going to be hundreds of dollars or over $100 or something, but when I didn't have, I mean, everything was all bills included. Everything was all bills included, but it was $540 a month with that cabin. But I still had to pay my phone bill and a storage bill, and which took up, let's see, hold up. Roughly 700, my math may be off, but roughly over $700 total. Wait, hold up. Do I have that right? No, wait. Yeah, I'm thinking roughly somewhere more or less $700 total. And I just remember it left me with a little bit over $200 left. But thankfully during those periods of time, some people issued a few donations here and there. So I didn't even have to beg as much, but I did have fears of, insecurity, financial insecurity. Excuse me. But then my food stamps came in, and I really didn't have to worry about nothing. But I hated to have to have left everything behind. I felt really terrible, but the most I had just enough donation money. I had just enough donation money to travel. I mean, for the bus ticket plus the $30 cab ride. It would have been cheaper if it was Uber, but I couldn't get anything. And then enough for like one meal. And then I got my Social Security and SSI check the next day. So everything worked out well. The only thing is those bastards took my freaking money for the month, like $130. I mean, almost $130 for the storage unit. But I didn't get the notification until August 31st. And then I had to just leave right away. Pack up and leave right away. That day. And then September 1st was when I got in town. Excuse me. And then, the 2nd was the day that I was able to get my stuff out of the storage unit. And then they still, took that $126 or something. And I thought that I thought that they were gonna make like a circumstantial kind of override, and then they turn around and rejected me. So, So then, but I mean, so then now I just got, I don't know how, I mean, the idea that I got to stretch, like, well, I got $17 in the bank, but maybe about $5 or more or less in cash. But a couple of days ago, I found an extra dollar bill. I found an extra dollar. But I don't know how much coins I actually have, but I'm pretty sure it's under $10. I haven't counted everything. But I found a tiny bit little more cash, and I don't know how much it was. But, having to stretch this amount all the way until next month. So, I mean, all the way until next month. Because I just moved in here, and sometimes, like, when you're new to moving somewhere, a lot of times you go broke trying to replenish things, especially after you came from nothing. Especially after you came from nothing. I mean, came from having nothing. But the person who donated had me pick out, the crock pot and a toaster oven and the towels and everything. She said, well, why didn't you get ground shipping? I'm like, well, everything was so last minute and short notice. And, everything was last minute and short notice. And also, I didn't even have the money or the funds for ground shipping. I had to just leave everything behind, and I urged the front office to make sure that maybe other people in the neighborhood or other neighbors could put it to good use. But I don't even have any closure on what happened, because that lady made false promises to come and get my stuff. But then she come to find out she was a perp who lied just to get my phone number. And she pretended to be Christian. She lied just to get my phone number, and she pretended to be Christian. Even playing fake Christian music and everything. So, the CCM, New Age, contemporary Christian music that manipulate and mind control you, that's the kind of fake Christian music she was playing in her car. So that lady took my phone number, made false promises to come and get the rest of the stuff so that I could have paid it forward. I was just hoping that other people could use it rather than all that stuff just going in the trash. Because people are stupid and wasteful. I wasn't even trying to be wasteful. But as I said, I urged the front office people to don't throw that away. Please make sure that people can put that to other people, that I can pay it forward. I didn't tell them I can pay it forward, but, I mentioned that so other people can put it to good use. So, because remember I was talking but I barely got that a whole lot of help. So it's like, I didn't even know if they were prorate or if I would have had to pay another whole $540 a month, and then I would have been paying on 2 places for 1 month. Just like with the storage unit, it's after the first, so you had to pay and you don't get your money back. I don't know if the cabin was like that or if they would have prorated. But the storage unit, they took the whole $126. They didn't prorate anything at all. Nothing. So, then that would have been more money. That probably would have been like between $225 or $300 of more money for me to have to ask for help with, to go back there and get all that stuff. And then it was the initial time, it was hard for me to get out of there. Couldn't get a cab, couldn't get an Uber, couldn't get anything at all. And then that was just like a Greyhound bus stop, not a station. And then, I mean, I couldn't even take that stuff on the extra stuff on the bus. So the most I was able to do was go with try to fit as much stuff as I could in my backpack and stuff it as much as I could. And then, that was the only thing I was, and the clothes on my back. Like, I even had to leave my winter coat and a hoodie that somebody gave me. I had to leave that behind too. I had a couple of extra big jars of coconut oil from the food stamps and boxes of baking soda and like fresh food that I just bought. And some of that good old ice cream. And those colorful natural eggs, fluffy eggs, and certain other food seasoning. I had to leave all that behind, So, I mean, and then, as I said, I had to act really fast because the first time I missed out on that opportunity. I was supposed to have been here, was it August? I think it was August 14th that the lady had called me up. Initially called me up and said that a place was ready. But I didn't have the money at all. So, but good thing she waited around and gave me another opportunity. Otherwise, I would have been still over there in Bloomington, living in hell, being trapped. Because living in Denton, Texas, I felt trapped. Excuse me. But cities like Houston and Dallas, I never lived in those cities, but I visited those cities. But they're bigger, major cities or bigger cities. So I wouldn't feel like trapped in those cities. But I didn't have a car. So, and the transportation was nearly impossible. But the transportation is pretty difficult here in Pensacola, but it's depending on what events are going on, it's pretty easy to get an Uber. Uber, for some reason, I try to get a Lyft account for Lyft rides, but for some reason, I can't even, I had difficulty with trying to get Lyft on the Lyft account. So that's why I had been like against Uber in the first place because like against Uber and DoorDash and stuff, but like I've in the beginning I had vowed to never do Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or participate in any of those things, but in 2017, I had difficulty with trying to. I didn't have a vehicle to be able to work for Uber or Lyft or anything, but it was heavily promoted in New Orleans. But some people were saying don't do Uber and Lyft because you're contributing to New Age slavery, But it seemed like I ended up being forced into it because. One time there was a lady in 2017 or 18, she offered me a free ride and gave me a free ride. And she said she was like an Uber or Lyft driver. And then when I got here, I think it was my first day here in Pensacola, somebody ordered me an Uber ride, But I started actively for Hurricane Sally was when I started actively taking Uber because the cab didn't come quick enough. The cab didn't come quick enough. So that's why, I mean, because they had like a curfew or something, and I was trying to get to the Greyhound station to get to my hometown, New Orleans, and then for Hurricane Sally. And you couldn't really be out on the streets, and people weren't even trying to help me or donate or to help me survive and stay out of the hurricane and out of bad weather and all that, Hurricane Sally was worse than Hurricane Ida for us in Pensacola. But, it's really scary when people don't even give a damn that you're suffering through a hurricane, and abusive narcs are sadistic enough to sit there and leave you to suffer, and they think that you must be going through something bad because it's your karma, or with their new age mentality to justify being cold-hearted and cruel. But then when stuff like Lahaina happened, then everybody got mad and said that they wanted to blame God for, if God's such a powerful God, why did he allow this to happen, or why didn't he put a stop to it, or whatever. But then y'all are people and sitting here narcissistically and sadistically making other people suffer because you think that somebody must have done something wrong to deserve something bad to happen to them. So the way people be talking about you can't help everybody, and they be encouraging people to not help everybody, and then lately you've been seeing on the news, I've seen at least 2 instances on the news. I mean, I don't watch the news, but I think it was maybe been through YouTube or something. A couple of instances, where somebody got murdered trying to help other people. I think it was a few instances like that. And so this causes for people to grow colder hearts. And then they say, they say that you shouldn't, but it's like the people who shouldn't be trusted are the main ones y'all be idolizing and worshiping. But the ones who legitimately need help are the ones who their GoFundMe or whatever is glossed over or ignored, and they're the ones who genuinely need real help. But the popular fakes who be getting over, that's the ones who y'all defend, worship, and support as the real deal, and y'all be highly deceived. So, but yeah, I mean, they said that it was a manager from some job who got murdered trying to help a homeless guy. Like he let the homeless guy stay with him, and the homeless guy was one of his employees. But but they be having people who act like as if they want to help you, but then they use that to manipulate and exploit and play all kinds of psychological games, like what Trisha did to me. But instead of me resorting to doing anything to her, and I know I wouldn't win anyway with my weak ass, I know I'm weak, I just got out of there as fast as I could because she was trying to sacrifice me. She was trying to have me killed, set me up. So it could go both ways, or it could go either way, If they have some people who prey on your suffering and then use that to exploit, So it seemed like it can go both ways. But I guess it's part of the Bible warning that nowadays, people's hearts being cold, But it seems like Black American people are the biggest advocates for being cold-hearted and cruel, rather than loving one another. So, you know, but anyway, they got these narcs that pretend that they got their fake quotes of wisdom that they want to say is wisdom and common sense, but they want to justify being cold-hearted and cruel and insensitive. So, and I know me being targeted, the gang stalkers want to manipulate people to feel like I was suffering the way that I was suffering because of so-called karma of me, quote unquote. They lied on me and said that I go around doing other people wrong. But they be just making up this part of the smear campaigns. Part of y'all Masonic satanic smear campaigns. And then profess targeted individuals do it to each other. Like, now, this lady named Gail, I don't know where she's from, but she speaks with a foreign accent. And her and two other people, well, her and this other person, they're supposed to be in a TI community, and they got hateful and unfollowed me on TikTok for no reason. And then I was crushed. But the other guy I'm not worried about because he be spewing out new age nonsense anyway. So I wasn't worried about him, but I was worried about her because I thought you were supposed to be Christian. And I never commented or said anything disrespectful on your page. Excuse me, or anything like that. And so this other lady, I can't remember her name offhand, but she was a new follower and followed me for a couple of days and then turned around and unfollowed. But she had a video full of a lot of cooking videos. But she was another Black lady. But that hurt me. I don't even know if the other the lady with the cooking videos, unfollowed me because she thought that my targeting videos were crazy or something. I don't know. But this Gail lady, I felt bothered because it's like, what did I say? Or what did I do? Or, she wasn't following me on my other channel. I didn't know about her until this TikTok, but she unfollowed me for no reason. And then one of her most recent posts was like, she was one of those type of people who post up other people's stuff. She didn't even have like her own gang stalking footage. So you got 20 something videos, but you got videos of other people's content of this program rather than, where's your personal experiences of being gang stalked? But, she sent me a couple of times private message me videos of what was supposed to be biblical encouragement, I guess. And I thought she even sent me like a happy birthday wish or something too. Like it was belated like a couple of days later, but I mean, but I was wondering, what did I say that made her, unfollow? And then her last video was posting another person's video about I don't remember exactly because I don't have the I don't have the screenshot or whatever in front of me, but when people unfollow or block me on social media, and they're supposed to be both Christian and targeted. And then, you talk about don't mess with God's people. But then they think they got their fake narcissistic pseudo authority to reject me from the body of Christ, or that make me feel like I'm too sinful, or like they're too good for me. And it's like this lady's supposed to be Christian and targeted, or part of the TI community, and she's heavy on that targeted justice thing. But I never really said anything about targeted justice on TikTok, but I say it on here. But I mean, but I felt bad all morning because of what she did. I felt bad enough to where I felt like a depressed feeling and felt like I couldn't function and trying to figure out, what did I do? What did I say? But I had a lady that was in a narcissistic victim community that she interpreted one of my posts the wrong way, but I'm glad that she private messaged me directly and questioned me about it, and I clarified it for her. I mean, because she could have been one of those people who easily unfollowed me or blocked me and left me in a panic attack wondering what I did or said wrong. So, I don't even know if that Gail lady, I don't know if she read my post the wrong way like the other lady did. And if that's the reason why other people in the so-called TI community are have been unfollowing and blocking me in droves. But, I haven't been posting a whole lot on Twitter, but, I'd be scared to post anything because now they don't have that API website where I can see who unfollowed or blocked me. So I'd be scared to even say anything. But, but they even have people who profess to be Christian who hate others or dislike others without a cause. Like hate you without a cause or don't like you for no reason at all. And I was thinking last night that if somebody was truly a true chosen one, I don't think that they will always brag and boast every chance that they get that they're chosen. Like, you're not truly chosen if you're going around and doing perp stuff. But to unfollow or block somebody who hasn't contacted you or did you anything, that's part of... And she may have heard a slander or a false rumor about me from the narcissistic control freak fake TI. She probably have been brainwashed by their lies and turned against me. So now yesterday, somebody, I don't remember when that guy posted a video, but he posted a video about the targeting. And then I try to comment and repost, and so they would keep undoing my reposts. And I notified him about it. And then somebody he's close friends with had told me, well, they always do that, And so basically I said, well, wow, mighty funny that the moment you commented that they're always doing that to us, they put the repost back. And then they turned around and took the repost away again. And at first I thought that was the guy himself that undid my repost, but it wasn't him. And so I was looking at some old messages yesterday. And one of my YouTube subscribers, some of my supportive subscribers, they said that their comments keep getting deleted. And then they think it's me, but it's not me. And if you're leaving a supportive comment, I'm not gonna block you or censor you, unless you're spouting out New Age or satanic stuff or witchcraft stuff. So, but if you leave supportive comments, I don't have a reason to block you or delete your stuff, unless you're leaving narcissistic bossy comments. Narcissistic bossy comments to try to embarrass me, to put me out there and embarrass me and humiliate me and make me feel really stupid. But I didn't realize that this person, I felt hurt that he unsubscribed from my channel. I found out yesterday that he unsubscribed from my channel, and I didn't realize he unsubscribed a long time ago. And so then I'm like, what did I do to deserve for him to unfollow me? And then I got mad and blocked him, and he hadn't commented in over a year. And then I think he got frustrated because I didn't even see his comment until almost a year and a half later. And I realized that he was saying that and I think somebody a few days ago was asking me about why do they keep deleting their comments or saying that their comments kept disappearing. And it's like the online gang stalkers, it seemed like the supportive comments, if they can't turn that person against me or manipulate that person, if they can't get in that person's head, then they hack into, I don't know if they hack into my account or some kind of way supernaturally start deleting or censoring their comments without me or that person even being aware, or until that person come to ask me. And I'm like, well, I didn't even know until here come a year and a half later almost that I finally see that you asked me, why you keep deleting my comments. I'm like, wow, I just saw this comment and the comments have been hidden from me. The supportive comments. And so it was a couple of months ago that I saw dozens and dozens of, they say, when you go into your YouTube studio and they have comments that you haven't responded to. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know. Hundreds of comments that I didn't even know. And it'd be the supportive comments that I didn't even realize that these people were trying to support me and talk to me. And the online gang stalkers, the gang stalking network, they've been hiding the comments from me to manipulate me to feel like it's everybody that hate me. Now, it would be something if that lady Gail did not unfollow me. And if the gang stalkers maybe hacked in and supernaturally did something, and I'm sitting here getting all mad and everything. That's how they manipulate and try to keep us targets divided. But I think, but the knowing that the TI community be hating me, I think she really did unfollow me. So I'm glad that the lady in the narcissistic victim community, I'm glad that she was woman enough to come and privately message me directly and ask for clarification. Because even on TikTok, if I post I clearly mentioned that these online gang stalkers are saying these lies about me. And it's part of the smear campaign that I'm exposing. And then I post screenshots of their lies and false accusations. And then people in the TI community on TikTok, they start to unfollow and block me in droves. And I think they already were against me and didn't give a damn. So, like, every time, especially when it comes to David Jane, he left me alone last night. Between last night and this morning, he left me alone. But, especially David Jane's comments, though. Because the lady that confronted me, she said that she had a stalker who falsely accused her of defending Satanists. And she said, oh, that's what one of my stalkers told me. And I'm like, wait a minute, you got it mixed up, though. I was trying to say, like, those were my messages to tell my YouTube subscribers. I asked the YouTube subscribers, why are y'all defending? And I asked that question. Why are my YouTube subscribers, why are y'all defending and agreeing with, and, these satanic gang stalkers, that's trying to traffic me? You believe their lies and, y'all go along with it, and y'all supposed to be Christian and part of the TI community. And then the satanic gang stalkers falsely paint me as a hell-bound Satanist because they're projecting what they are onto me. And then they manipulate even more and more people to turn against, betray, block, and hate me. It's been false rumors since 2000, since April, March or April, one of those months, when the Masonic gang stalking agents bragged and laughed about, and I still have the screenshots, of where they bragged and laughed about smearing my name and ruining my reputation in the TI community. And then said, why don't you come and join us? And I haven't joined in, and I have to keep resisting, So now that they can't get me to join, so they keep, the online gang stalkers, they keep on making death threats and death wishes at me. And now they're smearing me. Some people that are gang stalkers, they are pretending, posing as targeted individuals. And then, some of them even had me fooled and trying to manipulate me to go against another target. And I fell for it a few times. But I said, well, I'm not going to just go off of when somebody tell me. I'm going to want to experience it for myself from now on. So I'm going to experience it for myself from now on, But yeah, I felt psychologically, mentally, and emotionally crushed. That why would that lady do that? But yeah, the other lady who private messaged me, she said one of her stalkers had, she said that one of her stalkers had falsely accused her of defending Satanists. And I clarified and said that it was me asking my YouTube subscribers, why do y'all defend and agree with these satanic gang stalkers? Why y'all give them thumbs up and flock to them? Are y'all Satanists too? Are y'all satanic also? I thought you were supposed to be a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. But they got people that's playing both sides, that be pretending that they're Christian. And I heard that that's part of the duality mind control, that they're pretending to be an outward Christian and then behind closed doors be, devil worshipers. I don't even let myself follow Satanists. Somebody who I know is a Satanist, I don't even let myself follow them on social media. If they try to follow me, I block them. And I block them. So then, but they got so many fake nice Satanists though. and they use that to lure you and manipulate you to sacrifice you. Can't even trust people that's fake nice. Because people that's fake nice, even the ones they got certain Christians, certain people who say that they're Christian and they're fake nice and be more deadly than a Satanist nowadays. More dangerous or more deadly than a Satanist nowadays. And it shouldn't have to be this way. But they got so many people living double lives. You live a double life and play both sides. Like they got people who pretend to be a targeted individual outly, but then behind closed doors, they be perping the shit out of people. But they already got a cult following, their own cult following and some popularity. So when somebody with little to no views or followers speak against them, everybody will think you're crazy. Excuse me. That Dr. Catherine Horton, I never talked to her, but somebody said on Twitter that a couple of years back, somebody said on Twitter that Catherine Horton is a perp that was gaslighting the fuck out of her real bad. But somebody devoured and attacked me when I said Susan Fortunato Olsen from Targeted Justice was very nasty and rude to me 3 years ago. Excuse me. So, I used to respect and support Targeted Justice, but then I had that rude encounter with Susan Fortunato Olsen 3 years ago. For a brief moment when I had Facebook, and then then that Midge Mathis lady told me something a little rude before, but I don't know all the people over at Targeted Justice, but people are saying that Targeted Justice is a CIA front. And I've seen a lot of other people who say that they've been exploited and hurt by the so-called Targeted Justice people. So, but people are expecting me to go and participate in a lawsuit. I'm like, well, how if I'm not welcome? If y'all say that you are not a TI, you're saying, making like I'm not a real targeted individual. But it seems, as I said, people act like the TI community is supposed to be a popularity contest and like a competition on who's more targeted than who, or who's more real than who. And I'm just tired of bickering and fighting. I'm like, why don't we just all show our proof and, believe each other and get along? And if you say that you're targeted and you're not believing Jesus Christ, well, it would be nice if you can wake up to the truth and become a Christian. But they got a lot of professed targeted individuals who say that they don't even believe in God or the Bible. And I've seen a couple of people that's outright Satanists that claim that they're targeted individuals and being heavily gang-stalked. But I don't know. They don't say that, I'm being gang-stalked because I'm trying to get out of Satanism. They don't say that they're trying to get out of Satanism. But they say that they're Satanists. And they say that they're targeted. Well, I stay away from you. But I'm sitting here. This morning, that Gail lady made me feel extremely discouraged with the Bible and Christianity. And then I started seeing more and more Bible scriptures everywhere. But I don't want to turn away from the Bible or God because of what somebody did to me. I'm still trying to keep, because Jesus warned about he warned about the Pharisees of that day. And now they got modern day Pharisees, fakes, So I want to stick with Jesus Christ, and I don't want to give up. But as I said, I don't know if that Gail lady, if she read a post wrong about me, or if she read a post wrong about me, or if fake TI narcissistic fake TI perps who I recently feuded with, if they said something bad about me or gossiped about me, and she fell for the lies and then decided to unfollow me. But I don't know what it is. But you can't call yourself God's chosen. I mean, you just hear a lie and then believe it, So like when the other lady that private messaged me, when she private messaged me, she after I explained to her that I clarified that I was telling my YouTube subscribers to not listen to or believe the Satanists or defend and agree with them. And she's mentioned about, don't let anybody gaslight you or try to call you paranoid, And so I forgot what else I said, but she said, people believe anything nowadays. I'm like, yeah, they do. That people would rather believe a lie before believing the truth. But a real targeted individual should not be calling another real TI retarded, intellectually challenged, mentally challenged, remedial, schizophrenic, excuse me. Because you saying that like as if you look down on me and like you think you're better than me, but at the same time you be jealous. And then you lie on me and say I'm jealous of you. And then you start acting like an abusive, narcissistic perp. And so, like, at the moment, I don't be really keeping up with stalking anyone. I have been so busy fighting for my survival and 24/7 survival mode. And now I'm here and trying to get a relief from the burden of, like, I'm sitting here trying to get me some relief and relaxation from the burden of, everything. But last night was more quiet than the night before. Excuse me, but I could not sleep last night. I could not sleep. But I took some bentonite clay last night, and then all my worries went away. Once I took the clay before bed, I took the bentonite clay, and it seemed like as if, I think it had been after 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I finally went to sleep. Well, I don't remember if I went to sleep. I don't remember, but it was 6 something in the morning, and it was probably after 6:30. And then I dozed off and fell asleep. And then I think I woke up at 8:30 and then slept a little longer. And then I woke up somewhere right after 9 o'clock, like 9:10. And I got up and had to use the bathroom. And then I checked all my social media. And because of me feeling the way I felt after what I saw, then I felt like I could psychologically, mentally, and emotionally temporarily paralyzed. And then, I finally got up to go eat. Like, I had like 2 slices of the Ezekiel 4-9 bread with 2 slices of cheese and 3 eggs. And I put 2 liquid, I guess those were teaspoons of coconut oil. I put 2 liquid teaspoons of coconut oil. And then, I made it into a sandwich. And I also had 2 Cara oranges because I didn't have any fruit yesterday. But I was still craving a glass of milk to drink. I'm like, what is wrong with me to crave some milk? But I figured, well, I already had 2 slices of cheese, so I'm not going to have any milk. But for lunch, I'll have some leftover rice and the mixed vegetables and the leftover rice and mixed vegetables and a that another meat patty, and then for dinner I guess I'll have some plain mashed potatoes with the other chicken. The chicken. I guess that's my meal plan, and have two more pieces of that hardly any fattening kind of cake. It doesn't have a high sugar either. You know, I'll eat it today, and then the last bit will be tomorrow, and then it'll be gone tomorrow. But so I guess between for the next few days, I guess I have to work on organizing and clearing out my bins, my storage bins. And then these bags, I guess I have to sort and organize and um you know the clothes and stuff. So I mean, but like YouTube Studios basically saying that my views and content is lower because they say I have a whole lot less videos than I have usually been doing. Well, I have a place to live now and I'm not on the streets anymore. Excuse me. I'm not on the streets anymore, so that's less gang stalking I have to expose, which is a good thing. But 30 something dollars or maybe $20 a month, I don't even know if I don't even know if I will get my next YouTube payment. If it will, excuse me, I don't know if it will be October or it might be November or December. Who knows? But the first time it was April, and then it was July. But but they try to make sure my YouTube channel isn't growing. But then I got a few little more subscribers, But it's like if somebody's interested in cooking or whatever, and then you try to do videos about targeting, people will be quick to anything. People will be quick to unfollow you if you or block you if you talk about the targeting and they're not targeted. But I try to make this. This was originally not supposed to be my main channel, but due to the gang stalking and them trying to get all my channels shut down, this had no choice but to be forced to be my main channel now. And the gang stalkers give themselves brownie points for feeling like they got control over me. But I try to share gang stalking experiences, cooking, my short stories, and I wish it could be traveling videos. But I'm poor, so I share my writings and I talk about narcissistic abuse or personal life experiences and stuff like that. But I didn't even mean to go at least 30 minutes or so talking about family earlier in this video. But because of the dream that I had, the bad dream that I had, is why I had to go into detail and talk about it. But, I guess whatever money I earn from YouTube, I just earn, but I'm not gonna try to do just like silly stuff, to try to. But I mean, I don't know everything that I don't know everything there is to know about YouTube or whatever. But I'm just casually being myself. I'm not trying to fake anything or trying to be anybody or trying to be anything else other than what I know how to be best, just myself. So I mean, if I get paid, I get paid, or if I earn, I earn. If I don't, I don't. But with that, thanks, the super thanks or whatever. So far, 2 people have donated with the super thanks, but you don't get it right away. It comes with whatever. I mean, whenever your next YouTube payment is. But and then YouTube seem like they take when they donate through a super thanks, YouTube take like will seem like more than half and leave you with like approximately 45% of the money. And I'm like, damn. So if people consider this self-employment, but like the Scrum Diddlyumptious YouTube channel asked yesterday in a poll in their part of their community post, they asked, do you ever post videos? I mean, do you ever post pictures on social media about food? And so many people were against that idea and thought it was attention seeking or silly or whatever. But I'm like, wow, well, why y'all subscribe to Scrum Diddlyumptious channel if y'all feel that way though? Or some people think that it's just a narcissistic selfie thing to post up what food you're cooking. Well, why you subscribe to that channel then? Made me feel all kinds of just bad. Excuse me, but I'm basically showing people how I'm surviving or my struggle to survive. Well, being targeted, it's a struggle to survive. Because I told y'all that the online perps have been making threats to have me evicted. The first day I got here and they're already saying stuff. And then falsely accused me of harassing neighbors. Oh, you just got here and you're harassing the neighbors already. When it's the other way around. So, but the gang stalkers who worship Satan, they lie, manipulate, and twist the truth. Just to make the target look bad. And they will falsely smear, campaign, and manipulate for everybody to be falsely convinced that the target is a covert narcissist, a covert, vulnerable, attention-seeking narcissist, when that's not the case. When it's y'all or the group narcissists who you won't even attack or harass somebody by yourself, but you do it in packs and in groups. And I don't even be trying to bother nobody. I'm sitting here just trying to live in peace. But they decided, I mean, I'm glad that it was quiet last night, but they still decided to sleep deprive me anyway, like through the directed energy weapons or whatever, they sleep deprive me like every day consistently ever since I think it was last Sunday, or I don't think it was Monday. I think it was last Sunday. They've been sleep depriving me, or I haven't had nights where I got totally no sleep, but I had nights where I would get less than 4 hours of sleep. So I think it was yesterday I took a 1 hour, was it the day before? One of those, yesterday or the day before, I took a 1 hour nap, but I don't even think I went into a deep sleep. But, I even try to go to bed earlier, thinking that if I try to go to bed at 9 o'clock or something, that it will make up for me being sleep deprived the night before. And then I still end up not really being able to get sleep. So, But so next month, the way things are looking, it looked like my bills, like the rent, electricity, and phone bill, is all gonna be under $300 next month. But you know, I think with this baby, this not a baby mattress, but it's a children's mattress. But you know what? I think it is a baby mattress because when I picked it up from dumpster diving and I was homeless, I picked it up and the mattress was it came from off of a crib, a baby crib, and I didn't have like a sleeping bag or anything, and I was homeless on the streets, and I slept by a bus stop on the West Bank in my hometown, New Orleans, that night. I slept on the West Bank. And well, I didn't get to fall asleep in a deep sleep because I had to keep my eyes open because I didn't know who would harass me that night. So I mean, I don't think I'll get to work on any writing today. For the past couple of days, I have been wanting to work on, I have been wanting to take another detox bath. But I'm sitting here, I would hate for my detox bath to be disrupted with noise campaigns or noise harassment. So I've been scared to try to take a detox bath, or trying to find the right time to do it. So, lately my videos have been like approximately one video a day rather than at least a minimum of two, because like I've been trying to not do late night videos at night, and I hate going to bed at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So I wanted to try to practice to go to bed earlier at night, and about 10 o'clock at night. So that's why I haven't been doing later night long videos like I'm doing now. So, but I mean, as I said, I would like to try to find a way to have an increase of earned income or something, because I'm tired of forced low income, but I would rather earn it, but the online gang stalkers won't even allow that, or even the in-person gang stalkers. So I wish I could find something entrepreneurial, but they make everything so difficult. So thanks for listening to me. I love y'all. I'll see y'all.